to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com. And streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Justified After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Justified After Show.
All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. Bing is for doing, and we are here doing an AfterBuzz TV after show for Justified Season 4, Episode 10. I'm John Comerford, your host, and I'm joined in the studio by Tamara Berg.
Hi, everybody.
Also with us is Steve Bottomley.
Hi.
And rounding out the panel is Joe Braswell.
Nobles holla.
And of course, in the booth is Stephen Lemieux. Say hi, Stephen.
Hey guys, how's it going tonight?
Terrific. All right, lots happening. Of course, Detroit comes to Harlan. Johnny does some maneuvering, and as Joe mentioned, our favorite barbecuer and butcher makes an appearance. That's where I want to start off with. It was so good to see Limehouse back in the show.
Great.
Always like him, and it was quite a surprise. You know, as the show was developing, you started to realize Plan A is not working out for Drew, Shelby, and Ellen May. They've got everything covered there. Of course, the plane this being staked out. Plan B isn't working out, so the only Plan C is Limehouse and Nobles Holler. So tell me, what were your feelings when you saw him? I was going, yeah, let's get Limehouse back here.
It's great to see Michael T. It's great to see Michael T. Williamson. Is it Williams or Williamson?
And it's Williamson.
Williamson, yeah, Michael T. Williamson. What I was most surprised about is that was Ellen May's idea. You know, I mean, it's sort of like, you know, we felt Shelby was in complete control of this, or Drew was in complete control this whole time. Like, I've got this. Here's what we're going to do. Here's the plan. And then in the bushes, he's like, yeah, I guess that's it. You know, it's over.
Right, just giving up.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's ready to give himself up, which I thought was very interesting.
It's a good. It's just a good thing that he decided to take Ellen May with him. Yeah, because you know,
he got caught 6 hours earlier.
Okay, well let's talk that storyline just before we get to the Limehouse thing, because obviously that happened before that. The whole idea that he sees the lone wolf on the stretch of road or whatever, Shelby, whether it's or just a wild dog or whatever it was. You know, the fact that it's just hard out there on your own, or, you know, and so he decides he has to go back and help Ellen May. Turns around, and I thought, their relationship was very interesting. I like how they've been developing that. It's that's very strange. It is father-daughter kind of thing, but there's also other stuff going on. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. What do we think that is? Is that father-daughter, or is it romance there?
Well, I don't think it's romance at all. Well, I mean, I think, like we've been talking about in the last few weeks, and Graham Yost also talked about it last week, so confirming our thoughts on it, was that, definitely Shelby/Drew has his moral code, and it's something that a relationship with Ellen May is something that he might think about, but never seriously, and he would never cross that line.
Right.
So even though there may be that thing, which I think adds that nice complexity to that relationship, it's not a line that he's going to go across. Even though Ellen May is just looking for somebody to really love her for who she is. In fact, that's what she goes. Go ahead.
Well, unless Graham Yost is lying to us, like
that's true.
He often does.
He does. He does. He often does that.
He wouldn't lie to us.
No. He's a liar.
Well, I just haven't gotten his notes personally.
That's true.
But do you think Ellen May? I agree with you about Drew. I mean, he has a moral code, but I detect from Ellen May, I don't know. I mean, I'm detecting more of from her on her end, like she's falling for him.
Yeah, but don't you think it's just mostly because she has nobody? I mean, she was even saying it. She doesn't even. No one's come to her aid. No one's come to help her. No one really loves her. I mean, obviously, if she has a background that we can assume from her line of work, then she probably has never had a relationship that's really based on some sort of equality or some mutual respect and all that other stuff.
No, she is a stray dog that Shelby saw.
Nice.
And that's when he realized I can't leave her. She's not going to survive. Right. And I think the plan was, we'll just hang out in Mexico as father-daughter, whatever, But what I liked about them traveling together, and I didn't quite understand it at first, was Shelby in the back and her doing all the driving.
Yeah.
And it was a really great thing to show that already she's more in control of
Right. Nice metaphor.
Already she's moving.
You could see her growing.
She's in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and I'm like going, dude, are you tired or whatever? But then
you realized why.
You realize why, and it's a great beat. Like going, never forget this guy's law.
Yeah.
And he's going to know each step beforehand.
And I also like the whole thing about LMA. You know, because she had that conversation with him. It was 2 episodes ago about wearing his former wife's clothes, and if you act long enough, you can become. And it's kind of leading her down that path now too, because if she's growing into something more than just what she was, and it's kind of just a hint of that.
Yeah. They're along with that, while they're all trying to suss out where everybody is. A little off the point, but again, they're playing with Rachel. Her character is a little bit different this season. She's stepping up a little bit more to Raylan.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And not just in a don't mess with me sort of way, but
a little flirty.
Kind of in a flirty sort of,
because you're so easy on the eyes.
Exactly.
And there's just like, where are you going with this?
Right. I like that they tease him so much about how good-looking
he is. I know it is.
But if I were in this show, I would be nervous if I got lines like that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're making me more.
Is this what they call a swan song?
Yeah. People are going to care about. Oh, okay.
I get it.
Damn it.
But okay, so real fast, I want to go back to the LMA thing, because I was in the car, and then we'll get to Limehouse. But in the car, when she's making the case about how she's had a horrible life and no one's cared for her,
breaking my heart.
I know, that's what I'm saying. The actress, I mean, she has the face, and she's so good at making. She is this wounded, poor little stray dog, and you just feel. I mean, is there anybody that doesn't feel for her, that wants to try to help her and get her?
I was really, really impressed with how they did it in the dark.
Yeah.
Not a lot of lighting, but the lighting they gave her was just enough so that that whole scene was just, man, you put a lot of confidence in this actor, and I think she pulled it off.
Yeah, I was going to say that I thought it was beautifully shot, because there was no distraction. We were just looking at her face and really seeing, what was going on behind her eyes. And
because of the lighting, you really had to focus, because, you really had to pay attention, and so really smart. Oddly.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead,
I just mirroring what you guys are saying. I think this performance is a beautiful, beautiful performance.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I think it's really underrated, because there's no way that I think that Ellen May is not Ellen May. Like, this woman is not smart.
Yeah.
Well,
but of course she is.
She was in the first. I think. Well, I'm not exactly sure if she came in the first scene of the second season, but the point was that she was going to be one of those actors, and I should say characters. They're supposed to be a one-off. But they liked so much what she was doing and the way she came across and how she looked on camera, and it just worked so much that they kept writing her into stories. I mean, it's just a testament to how well they liked her and how good she did.
It's one of those underrated performances, because you don't notice that it's such a good performance. You don't notice her performance. You think it's just who she is.
Okay, so that's again, they're tugging on our heartstrings and make us feel so bad for her, and then we get to Limehouse, and we think she's gonna have some sort of safety, and then it just turns out horrible.
Well, first of all, episode 10, and we finally get to see Limehouse again. So
they've held him. They've been stingy with Limehouse.
They've been stingy with Limehouse. I was really kind of missing it too, because I was thinking, okay, I can understand some of the other characters, but Noble's Holler didn't go away.
Right. Yeah.
So awesome that he came back, and it took some big brass ones for Shelby to walk.
Yeah, that was a great little tete-a-tete there.
That was great, and it also showed how, to your note about the moral code, it showed that, I don't know what's going to happen to me, but I need to protect.
Yeah.
Right.
I need to protect this lamb.
Yeah.
So there was a lot unsaid.
Yeah, exactly.
And no one does that better.
Yeah.
Than our friend Limehouse.
But now, because obviously Noble's Holler had been a refuge for women who had been beat up and all those sorts of things, and that's one of the things that they provided. And so, did you guys get the feeling that, okay, at least she's going to be safe for a time, and Limehouse is going to make good on his word there?
Well,
you didn't think that at all?
I didn't.
Really? Okay.
I think so either. I mean, Limehouse is still Limehouse. I mean, there's a streak of nobility in him. I mean, or it be seen, but he's first and foremost, always trying to find the angle, making sure that he's always been sort of one step ahead. So as he was then, he's like, of course, Drew.
Okay.
Yeah.
But here's that. I did not see that he would. Obviously, right after he said the word Drew, the name Drew, I went, of course he knows him.
He's Limehouse.
But until then, I was just enjoying the scene so much, I completely forgot that tables might get turned here.
Yeah.
Did anybody see it coming ahead of time?
I did not see it coming, and the other thing that really caught me off guard is I thought, you know, Noble's Holler, I thought it was going to be, well, of course, come on in. If you're,
exactly.
But the first thing he says to her is, she brought me information.
That's right.
Yeah,
what are you giving me?
Man, there's a price for everything.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
You can't just roll up in the Noble's Holler like it's a refuge, like it's everyone's, like it's
you should be able.
You know?
Yeah, you should be able to. Okay.
Or the church.
Exactly.
I did not see it coming. I did not see it coming at all. But once it was there, I was like, oh, of course.
Yeah, Limehouse knows everything, right?
I like you was mesmerized by the performance and like, oh, the Holler.
The other thing that here's what I thought.
Oh, we're back. I can smell the barbecue.
I thought it was a great reveal. And then I was thinking about it, and I'm going, wait a minute. If he knew all this time, and he's really in need of money, why the hell didn't he just go get him?
Because let them come to him, because he's the power.
But except,
that's a good point.
He probably, if he knows Drew's who he is, and he's got his finger on the pulse of everything else, he probably knows everybody else is looking for him, and he should get there first.
Well, or he's waiting for the deal to be made so that he can step in and adjust it to his benefit. I don't know. Here's what I do know. Previous season, he doesn't like to deal with the rest of Harlan County.
But there's money to be made there.
And he needs it.
Yeah, seriously.
And also, you know, Limehouse has been a chess player. He sort of like surveys the landscape, looks at the boards, and sort of, you know, waits back to make his moves, and uses other people as pawns. It seems, you know, like he's a bit of a chess player. But also, there's a hint that he may be in some trouble. He's got some debts. He's got some money. So maybe he is laying low for a reason.
Could be, and of course he has that whole dream and talking about how he's really doing all this first.
Talking about an airplane.
Yeah, I thought that was
like,
great.
How many airplane beats are we going to get in this thing?
Big old
I thought that was a nice little nod back.
I love how everybody is so pissed off at everybody in every scene, and yet they're still as cordial.
I know.
I appreciate you telling
geniality,
me this obvious metaphor.
Southern hospitality. You never go without
What else are you going to do with my money?
I love it.
God, that was good. So, of course, and then let's carry on that story a little bit farther, because he obviously tells that Boyd, okay, it's going to cost 300 grand, or 150 apiece, I should say, 300 grand. They decide to get the money, they bring it to him, and now who was expecting the double cross? No. Again, I wasn't. I mean, and I went. And I'm sure there's a lot of listeners out there saying, "Duh, it's Limehouse. Of course he was going to."
Sure.
But I didn't think.
Not in the moment.
I didn't think at all that. And I still am going. I find that odd, because I didn't really see him as that kind of character in last season.
No, I didn't either.
Right, going back on his word.
Yeah,
and that
exactly.
Because
Because that word will obviously get out there, and then they know he can't be trusted, and that you think that.
But if you think about last season, a lot of the times he was dealing with the crazy guy.
Quarrels,
yeah, absolutely.
Or
Oxy Man,
Or was Raylan in Limehouse dealing a bit? Or
yeah, they were all dealing,
So we didn't really see him deal too much with Boyd.
Yeah, but he just seemed, everything he seemed to deal with, I mean...
But there seemed to be a lot more moral code with him.
Right, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying it's totally out of character, just I didn't see it, and it was just a little bit weird for me. I liked it, it was kind of fun.
Right.
And it obviously ups the ante for everybody, so that part, of course, is great drama. But it was just like, whoa, wait a minute.
I'm guessing that's probably what that little bit of exposition was about. I'm thinking that whole, you owe money, you're in trouble, things are different for you now, Limehouse. I think that's what's supposed to lead us to believe that he's got to get, here's an opportunity here. He's going to seize this opportunity.
And how about what it does to, how it puts Ava and Boyd against each other?
Yeah. Well, here's what I thought was really interesting.
Choice that they had to make between the two.
This is right on the heels of them looking at houses.
Exactly.
And they reference that in this.
Yeah.
So now they're looking at, we can't get to that yet. We've got to take that dream and put it back in this bad place.
Yeah.
But trust me, it will turn out fine.
Right.
So every time he tries to get out, he has to make another move to get deeper in.
And here's a nice little nod. Boyd calling LMA a wild animal, which is the stray dog we saw earlier.
Yes.
So although one may be, in one instance it needs to be helped, in another instance it's a wild animal that needs to be cornered and taken care of.
I really like that beat. I like that scene where they were going back and forth, and I was like, well, that's true. Well, that's true too.
Well, exactly, it was a great argument.
And here's the thing. I was thinking, I think LMA is going to keep her mouth shut. And when she came in and hugged the most awkward hug.
Yeah,
that's really.
Yeah. And of course, Limehouse is great. Like, doesn't look like she's after you to me.
You know what I'm curious about? And I'm curious about. I haven't checked it all, but it looked like it was one of those things that Ava really didn't know. The actor did not know that was going to happen, and that it was just a spontaneous thing. And I'm wondering if that was actually scripted or if she just did it.
It's a choice. Yeah, Abby Miller is Ellen May's the actress's name. Abby Miller, she's great.
Yeah, because if it was scripted, it was done beautifully. But even if it wasn't, it just worked out really great. Yeah. So let's see.
But I really thought that was the right choice. I think Ellen May won't turn. I just think she's not going to turn.
But don't you believe Boyd? Go ahead, Tim.
Well, she had said earlier in the day, I ain't going to turn on Ava. I'm not going to rat on her.
Yeah, but don't you think? I mean, I believed Boyd. When push comes to shove and she's really cornered, I think she's going to say something.
I mean, it played out in that scene to me. I mean, I think that was a good point. The argument was made. I do believe I was with you that was the right choice. However, Boyd was right because she was cornered. She was pissed. She spit in Ava's face. She went from hugging her to say, I won't tell you, to spitting in her face, which is the ultimate form of disrespect to a woman who,
it goes right to what Boyd said. That's a wild animal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you never know what people do in those situations. I mean, do you guys think, is it the right choice?
Well, now that you reminded me that she did spit in her face, I'm going to think twice about
I mean,
regardless, they better find another 300 grand.
Exactly.
Well, and the other thing is that with Shelby, they have the card.
Right.
So that they can trade in to Theotonin for twice as much money or 3 times as much money as they paid to
Then go
Limehouse.
get Ellen May.
So
and the heroin trade.
Right, so everything's puppies and rainbows from here. Oh, no.
And by the way,
puppies and rainbows, exactly.
And again, they give, we haven't seen you in 10 episodes, so why don't you come out with a bloody knife?
Yes.
Exactly.
And just go ahead and clean it on your shirt, on your bloody shirt.
That was just barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
He was getting the ribs ready. Of course.
He was just butchering a pig.
All right.
Those days must be great to be on set, just to see, those moments like, I'm back.
Look what I get to do.
I think one of the great things about it is probably it doesn't smell like it looks like it smells on TV.
Oh, yeah.
Because doesn't it look like it smells really bad?
That area, but then when they're in the cafe.
When you go to the cafe, what cafe?
Exactly.
The Rib Shack.
With a cold beer.
Limehouse got Coral's arm, right? That's right.
Oh, yeah. He disarmed him.
Oh, yeah, he disarmed him. Thank you, Tamara. Good call back.
Best facial expression from Raylan ever.
Exactly. What are you doing? Exactly.
Wait, what?
All right.
Anyway,
let's give a shout out to everybody who's rated and commented. We have a lot of comments from you last week. Thank you very much for doing that. We're going to be talking about that in our special segment after before we get to our end here, and we'll talk about your theories and the things that you guys want to talk about. So that's been extremely fun to read all those comments. So keep them coming. Go to iTunes, do some downloading for us, rate and comment us, and please keep those thoughts coming because that's a hell of a lot of fun. It's going to create a lot of conversation here. So let's keep that going.
It does create conversation all week with us.
And interesting theories, and we thank you very much for that.
Thank
and
you,
also tell a friend, have them be part of the conversation as well, because we want to keep this thing going. Let's see. Let's talk about Johnny now. And one more plug here. We're going to have David Meunier.
Who plays Johnny Crowder.
He's going to be on our show next week, so we'll have him in-house. Absolutely.
No.
We'll have an interview with him. We'll talk all about Johnny. But for the time being, so go ahead, Tamara.
So if you have questions for him, let us know.
Absolutely.
You can put them on the AfterBuzz Facebook page, or you can send them to us via iTunes or that other thing, YouTube. You can also tweet questions to us during the week.
We'll absolutely use them. Well, unless
so whatever you want to know. Well, as much as we can. Because we have our own questions too.
Right. So, what do you think of Justin Bieber? No, we're not going to use that one.
So he'll be here next week. So do tune in for that. He's going to be great. We're happy to have him. Now let's talk about him now, because he's maneuvering a lot today.
Yeah.
And a lot, again, a lot of backstory here too. I mean, it's not like we don't know all this, but it all came to a point. With Raylan, I thought that was fascinating. They never take the time to do this, and all of a sudden he just spills his guts about everything.
To Raylan of all people, I mean, it's sort of like but.
Because I was trying to, what's the angle? Why is he saying all this? What's he trying to?
Well, they opened it up where Boyd shuts him out. He told Boyd that Colt was bad.
Yep.
And then he tells Boyd, and
he's taking Colt with him.
Exactly.
No, not Johnny.
He tells Johnny, Boyd tells Johnny, he says, what's the plan? The plan is for you to call such and such. I mean, he is shutting Johnny out every step of the way.
Continually.
Continually. And then
who else shuts him out but Win Duffy?
Right.
Because he tells him to go get your Detroit boys to come down and help.
Subcontracted.
I thought that was the 21st century.
That's right. And it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
You know, we're externalizing the cost.
So the one guy that has the least amount of resources and is the most difficult to get around is forced to try to do the lion's share of the work.
Yeah.
But he is making, man, he's writing checks he can't cash.
He's wheeling and dealing. Well, it also just, it felt to me.
He's desperate. Go ahead.
Yeah, that confession to Raylan, is that outpour of emotion to Raylan. You get the impression that he's really got nowhere else to talk to. I mean, at this point, his dad's gone, his brother's gone. You know, his other brother is not in the right place. You know, Ava's not there.
Right, and so, his plans can't get any traction.
Arlo's gone, so you know when Duffy's not listening, and so there's no one really to listen to in the history. You know, Raylan's the only person who understands the history.
Well, even Terry the hooker wasn't really paying attention.
Right,
you know, and what do we pay her for? Seriously.
Here's the thing that I don't quite follow on the Johnny beat for this episode, which is Johnny turned over where the drop site was to Raylan as part of some sort of deal. The only thing Johnny needs is Drew. He just gave Drew to Raylan. I mean, I understand that it keeps Drew out of their hands, and I just can't figure out how Johnny's going to walk in with Drew.
Well, I think he was just doing that because of what Raylan said. He's, look, you help us with Drew, we'll help you with your problem. And I think maybe he was saying that we'll help you with Boyd.
Well, but maybe, but still,
Boyd out of the way.
Johnny theoretically is still in the driver's seat because if it looked like there's some allusion to this on the previews, but if he says, okay, I know where Drew is, he can still make that call to Detroit himself and say, Drew's going to be here. I know. I've ensured that Raylan and Drew will be in the same spot. Just, you know, to that, he's playing the long game here.
Right.
All right.
The other problem Johnny has right now is they spent a little bit of time with his hooker girlfriend complaining about how LMA, I have to do things they don't even have names for. Which, you know, again.
Well, and right there I'm going, no, what are those names? Please, write them down.
I guarantee that was a half hour out of the writing room's day of them coming up with names.
And we can't think of a name better than the one they can imagine.
What do you think this would be called? But anyway, so she saw them come in. So he has a witness that he was talking to the Marshals.
Terry, you're talking.
Terry,
but she saw Raylan and Rachel come in to talk to Johnny. So, you know, there's someone that saw the start of that conversation. If Boyd starts to figure out how did they know?
Oh, got it.
How could they possibly know where the drop was?
Yeah.
So, and the reason I bring it up because we did have quite a bit of what I thought was kind of odd conversation
between.
And interesting. Will he get the same treatment that Colt's getting?
No. He's family. You don't dare.
He's
and by the way, you know, Colt's a dead man anyway. I think we were talking about this off air. He's
super dead.
He's a dead man. So
dead
for
man walking.
me,
dead man walking for sure.
With great hair.
With great hair, he's got the hair. He's flipping that hair around.
He's just
like Keanu Reeves.
He's well conditioned.
What is keeping him there?
I don't know the sense of loyalty, the whole thing about, you know, what he was back when in Kuwait with the MP and all that other stuff.
Where else he's going to go? I mean, he's
got nothing else.
You know, and plus,
just the hell out of Dodge.
Well, I think it's a sense of honor and duty. I mean, he was a soldier to some degree, and there was a connection with Boyd, and that's why I think Boyd touched on that. He said, I need that man that I remember back in Kuwait.
Right, and he seemed to respond to that.
You know, appealing to his better self or so.
I think he had really nowhere else. I mean, he has nowhere else to go because I think that he wanted to do the right thing. He was, you know, with Ellen May and taking care of her. He lost her. I think he genuinely feels like he's got to make it right. He wants to make this right more than he wants to run away. If only, you know, this whole opportunity, this whole last 4 episodes has been him trying to make this whole thing right. I think this is his opportunity, so he thinks, but he's a dead man.
Well, yeah, he is. Everybody in this thing is positioning and playing chess and moving around, and
they're playing Chinese checkers.
Well, yeah, but Boyd, I mean, Colt is just kind of like wandering around the board going.
He's half the time he's high. So I just don't know how much he
has time to wash his hair. I'll say that.
Yes, he does, and get a deep conditioning.
Yes, he does.
There might be a keratin treatment.
On and on about his hair.
I had no idea heroin did such awesome things to your hair.
All right, so
totally going to start doing heroin.
Unless we have anything else on Johnny, I want to move on to Detroit.
I hear he's coming in next week.
Yes, he is. One more time. Thank you very much.
David Meunier.
David Meunier. We'll be here next week. Okay, so Detroit comes to town in the manner of Nick Augustine.
Yes.
Of course, was it Boyd at first? Yeah, Boyd first contacted him because Boyd, of course, is making the deal. I'm gonna have to buy these Ellen May and Shelby for $150 each, so I'm gonna sell them for $250 each.
Right.
Ever the capitalist.
Of course.
Nicely done.
And the nice cherry on top of the heroin deal too.
Yeah, the heroin deal.
Don't forget the Dairy Queen.
Well, yeah, well, that was with the Cloverhill gang. So,
Right.
Yeah, but he still might get that because we have enough money. And Harlan needs a DQ.
Yes, it does.
So it was great. I like Nick Augustine, the character, and stuff. So I liked the way he was playing it too. Soft playing it like, okay, you get him first, and then we'll talk.
Right.
Now this is the same guy that shot the FBI agent in Duffy's RV, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Same guy. Okay.
So.
He's just. Don't cross him.
Well, yeah, I know there's this
him.
honor among thieves, presumably, but what makes anyone think that Nicky Augustine is gonna keep his word? I mean, it seems like.
Well, I mean, Limehouse didn't. So why would Nick
once Drew shows up, like Detroit just comes down. With an iron hammer.
True, could be, but then there's also the idea that Theo Tono may be so rich, and he might just say, you know what, it's worth it. I want that. I'll pay it. Right. I mean, who knows? I don't know.
And I guess there is business interest in
exactly.
Harlan.
That's the other thing I'm thinking. Yeah,
they're going to keep the heroin trade going.
It's just as likely that they say absolutely we'll do the deal, and then of course they won't, and who knows? They'll kill.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll find that out next week because they're going to be working closely with Boyd next week, as we saw from the coming up.
Yeah, I think Detroit's going to come visit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we asked this a few episodes ago, but do we think we'll see Theo? Do you think he's going to make an appearance?
I haven't, all this stuff. We haven't seen any news and gossip on it.
I haven't seen anything lately.
Timothy Oliphant hasn't said anything. He was just on Jimmy Fallon last night. Not that he would say specifically that, but we haven't heard any rumors about it.
Well, it seems like they're using
Nick as the go-between.
As that representative. So, which is fine. I mean, this guy is fun to watch, and I just wish there was a little bit more conversation when he's talking to Boyd.
Yeah, it's fun.
And I think let's leave my mother out of this.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's a kind of an interesting line. Just real quick, the conversation Boyd and Shelby were having at the tree.
Yeah.
When Ava was sitting there, I really liked that.
That was great.
It was a little bit of plea bargaining. A little bit of family history. And
a little bit for me, something about he may soon be meeting his maker, so setting the record straight kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's what I felt about it.
Yeah, it's like sorry, but again, Boyd was just saying this is the life we lead.
Yeah, exactly.
And then later on,
the whole thing.
Later on, Raylan says the same thing to Johnny.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's all these themes that they kind of ran through.
Yeah. Which begs the question we talked about this earlier. I mean, what do we think of Shelby? Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he this sort of D.B. Cooper folklore guy? Art had that great description of him as a badass. Art had that great monologue.
Oh my God, that was a great pep talk.
What a badass
that was such a good pep talk. First, can we just admit that this man is awesome?
He's a badass.
Oh God.
And then he goes to the litany of things that everything Drew has done, and when he lays it out, prosecutes the whole thing, and you're just going, damn, he's a badass. Yeah. But he's so, unassuming about everything that.
Yeah, looking at him, you wouldn't think that.
No, but he is. He's a badass.
He's done.
If we did our own laundry, we start with the bad stuff. In the bad column, he did throw a guy out of a plane, and
let's face it.
But the good column, they are all bad guys. He did shoot. The guy he shot was Theo Tonin, of all people, who's the baddest of the bad guys. I mean,
but he's like a lot of Elmore Leonard, and they're wonderfully textured and layered and complicated.
He's upholding the law. And he was corruptible, kind of, but then he wanted Boyd back.
Yeah, exactly.
He wanted to presumably be on the side of the law again.
Yeah.
So
he helps kickstart some small businesses in Harlan County.
Yeah, wasn't that great? And how do you argue with that? It's well, it's true.
Yeah. And that's what I really like about that scene is watching Boyd's struggle of, and then just coming to the realization, this is our business.
Not only that, but it's also kind of the same argument he's been making is that we have to do this in order to get out of this.
Right.
We have to live this life, which is exactly the thing that Drew's saying is that it gave them houses, it gave them, money and all that kind of stuff, which is kind of the road he's doing.
But they had to do drugs and sell drugs to get there.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I did notice that Boyd, in his effort to go clean when he did make that deal with Nick, he did keep the heroin trade in there, so he's not going completely legit. He still needs that little bit of money.
He needs some monthly income.
Dairy Queen's only going to turn so much money.
Exactly.
Dairy Queen,
not anything in the winter.
Right. So then so he makes that plea to Boyd, meaning Shelby or Drew makes that plea to Boyd, and or not necessarily a plea so much, but he makes a bigger plea with Colt later on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so what you feeling? I'll tell you what I was thinking. Let me know what you guys think. It seemed like he just really wanted it over because he knew if obviously if Tonan's boys get to him, that's going to be hell and torture and all this. So just do it and get it over with. Or was he looking for anything else? Was he trying to get him off his game so he'd take off the cuffs? He just wanted it done.
He just wanted it done.
I think he knew what was. I mean, it was going to be a whole lot easier to take that bullet in the face. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why all the taunting was coming out because that was going to be a whole lot easier than all of the things that Colt said could have been the possibilities of what going to happen to him. I've watched those guys die slowly. I've watched people get waterboarded. Yeah. And I could imagine that the kind of sadist that Theo Tonin is, he would draw it out for a very long time.
They actually have very good medical people on hand with this
to keep them going.
To keep them going, yeah.
Okay.
It's scary.
Oh, so but in your long line of being a Detroit mobster,
I've gone through.
You're such a made man.
I get the primer by the bulk rate. I'm just saying.
Okay, gotcha.
No, but I think as soon as Limehouse figured out who he was, or said he knew who he was, I think he knew. Okay, now I'm dead man. I'm a dead man. There's so yeah. I think he was pretty happy to see the Marshals drive up. But great scenes.
Yeah,
great scenes.
That was wonderful.
It really, nothing really over the top. Although, real quick again, early on, Raylan's getting a little bit frantic. At the beginning, when he's trying to figure out what everyone's doing, he wasn't his calm, cool self.
Right.
He was barking. And then when he finally gets Shelby, when he finally finds Drew,
the look on his face.
The look on his face was just an instant. Okay, now.
Yeah, and then it was quickly gone because we haven't done anything yet, which is and now we got to figure out how to get out of Harlan alive, and I want to talk about that because Season 1 and Season 2, what did the last song they ended with, both seasons?
You'll never leave Harlan alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I got the chill on that one, too. I'm glad mine melded with me on that.
Exactly. So.
And that, for me, that was another one of those moments of, now we got him in a car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah, so, okay, that's exhausted that. I don't know where else to take it other than that because for me, that was the line that really solidified the whole thing for me. And for me, it also sets up the whole dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. We're going to get to the end.
Oh, my God.
So
I think next
really
week's
exciting.
Gonna be awesome.
So before we go to predictions, let's talk about our special segment. Now, in this special segment, we want to, again, go back to our listeners and fans of Justified and hear some of the things that they've been thinking about. So, Tamara, why don't you let us know what you got?
I just want to say for some of us who had a little trouble with this, there was a comment on iTunes from Edit JD that he had a little bit of the Hunter Shelby facial blindness that some of us like me had, getting those two guys confused.
And they hit it again.
Yeah, and that's, by the way, let me set the quick little ground rules. What we want to do is let's just bring forward whatever theory or whatever comment that they give, and then we just want to talk about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay. Oh shoot! I just lost the email all of a sudden. Talk amongst yourselves about that. Face blindness. Sorry, all of a sudden it's missing.
All right, so there were, we had some comments about who also were confused about the Hunter-Shelby connection, if there were other, I don't know, familial relations, or why they picked two guys, actors that look the same and stuff.
Right.
And, you know, I didn't see it as much as Tamara did and everything, but did you guys theorize anything after we had talked about it, since other people were commenting on it as well? Or did it?
Well, you know, it was kind of in the back of my mind from our discussions, but then when they were doing the previous, and they showed them right next to each other again, I'm like going, you guys are hitting this for a reason. You keep showing those two, and then with it in your hand, you're going, damn, they could be brothers. I mean, the facial structure, everything seems very...
Yeah,
you throw Shelby's beard on Hunter.
That's great. Because we were talking about that, let's go into the one comment that I do remember, which was somebody was suggesting that Shelby and Ellen May might be related.
Yes, we found that. I think I just lost the email that we're looking for, so we're gonna have to go off of memory. But several people commented over the course of the week that Ellen May could actually be Shelby's daughter. Shelby, Drew Thompson's daughter, because there was a comment that she looked similar to Drew Thompson's wife. Widow.
And the timing of it all.
Right,
exactly. Looks like it worked as well.
Yeah, the timeline was good on that.
Well, he would have lost track of her if he was out gallivanting with coke and money and throwing people from the
is it theory that it's his daughter and he doesn't know, or it's his daughter that he knows?
Nobody went that far. There were other people who made the comment who also said it may be a little bit too much of a soap opera.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting, I just like it, just for conversation's sake, I find that fascinating. Because what if he did know? Right. And the whole thing, you know, rather than him happening upon Ellen May, what if that was all staged because he did know and has known for who knows how long or whatever. But I find that it's worthy discussion because I find that interesting.
Help explain his motives in terms of really, I mean, he has some peripheral motives for getting Ellen May and taking care of her, but it just seems
it would also be a hard way to explain, you know, him leaving her.
Right.
Exactly.
And then having to go back.
So but obviously this comment was made before tonight's episode. Right. I don't think people would have the same comment after this because, as you're right, Stephen, I don't think that if it was really truly his daughter, he would have left like that at all. So
another one that I've lost my
technology.
My thing. But oh no, I take it back. Here it is. One of the ones that people were talking about was that Tim you know, couldn't save his friend.
Correct. Yeah.
And so now he's set on getting to Colt himself.
Right.
And that there would be a PTSD connection in that.
Right.
Okay.
So he's kind of becoming a mini Raylan. We did talk about that a little bit last week.
So, and what do we think about it? Because they didn't really, because of so much was happening this episode, they did not have a chance to follow up on that. I'm wondering are they going to be able to get back to that story? They've got to in some way.
They've got to. That story's not going anywhere.
Right.
They did such a great job of setting it up in the 12-step meeting.
Yeah.
And then again, you know, second time they're going to revisit that.
Because we still think that Tim and Colt are going to go at it.
Yeah, that's what
I think that's why Colt's still alive.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think the only reason.
We can have the awesome showdown.
Week, you know,
we're going to have that.
Yeah.
If Boyd didn't take him out, then we must be saving him for Tim.
The first time those two guys met up in the mountains when Boyd and Raylan were in cuffs was, you know, it was a very tense scene. There was a lot of posturing going on, and it was a great, you know, that's where I think we could go. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think
but there was a little bit of mutual respect too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why I think it's got to come to
the better the enemy, the better the fight.
Yeah. So what else?
Another one was, why is Art retiring?
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
That was one of the things we wanted to talk about.
Who gave that one?
This was MB Archer.
MB Archer. Thank you, MB Archer.
Prolific on our comments, and it's really nice to get
okay. So why would Art? Did he give a reason, or did?
No, just one. We don't know if it's a man or a woman. Could he be ill and maybe not telling anyone?
Interesting. So why? Yeah, I know. Obviously, he's a quote appropriate age to retire.
Right.
And he works. People who work for him give him reason to retire.
Yes.
But is there something?
I mean, I get the impression that it's exhausting, and these are all his do with children, but I get the impression he loves his job. I don't.
I do too.
But like you can see it weighing on him too. I mean, you remember was it last season when they were following the guy, and it was a guy he used to work with, and they ended up at this small little airport, and the guy was getting out of town. So and he was kind of admiring the fact that he was
heading out.
Yeah, exactly, and how he would be so easy
with
to
a
give it
Hawaiian
all
shirt.
up.
Right.
Yeah. The guy had the Hawaiian shirt and the khaki pants.
So.
But then he's also got to be the type of guy that would think, well, what am I going to do if I retire?
Right.
And you don't hear him talk about family too much. You don't hear him talk about, I love fishing. You know what I mean? This seems to be his job. So that's a really interesting point.
But I mean, how long can you do this? I mean, seriously, putting out the fires that he has to put out because he was talking about putting Raylan on leave or suspension because of the Hunter Mosley thing.
Right,
I mean, and that's like daily for him.
I think he might hit it actually. I think now that you bring that up, I forgot about that scene when I'm looking at the guy in the Hawaiian shirt leaving. I think that was the beat. That was the point where that was the moment where he's like, I gotta get the hell out.
Exactly.
Like, what am I doing?
It's like, why am I doing this? It's a young man's game.
And so then in season 4, he's like, I'm retiring. So if you look at it in those terms.
But okay, let's talk about. Let's say he does retire. What do? Do they bring somebody else in? They're not going to bring Raylan up.
First of all,
no.
First of all,
he has to have a boss.
He's never going to reach retirement.
I wouldn't. I mean, my God, why would you get rid of Art? Art's one of the best things going.
No, Steve's saying he can't possibly retire peacefully.
Yeah,
he's got a bullet named called retire.
I see what you're saying.
He's never going to actually walk
that would be
into this.
horrible.
No, we cannot have that.
No, I mean, and that's Raylan's.
Like Mags Bennett kind of horrible.
Yeah, I know, but that's like Raylan's only father figure.
Yeah.
Of any, worth, I should say.
Yeah.
Oh, good God.
The name of the show.
I know, but I just look.
Well,
let's face it.
Well, it's an interesting beat.
That's true, but just given the speech he gave today about Drew, why would you? I mean, obviously you could bring other characters in, but he's just so amazing.
He absolutely is.
Every time he's on the screen, I want to write down everything he says.
Let's hang out with Art.
Exactly.
And as an actor, he makes it look so effortless.
Yeah, sure. Nick Searcy.
Another great performance. Another sort of like
solid,
effortless performance.
Yeah. Is he ever nominated?
No. He hasn't been.
Not
well, that's an oversight.
Yeah. I mean, this guy's amazing.
Is he? But it goes to the question: is he sick, or is there something else going on?
Could be.
I think if they decide that, they're going to play it to the nth degree of like, I'm dead anyway.
It's gonna suck because they are gonna kill him because that's what they. Oh man, that's gonna suck.
Of course, they're gonna give him 2 days to retirement,
and then he's gonna. Crap.
And Raylan won't be able to save him.
I think we have our predictions.
Do we have any
No.
Okay, great.
Well, thank you very much for
absolutely.
those.
So we would like to do these as segments on a regular basis. So if you guys will keep coming with those thoughts and theories and ideas, we would really appreciate it because that makes for a fun discussion for us. And we hope a fun discussion for you.
Yeah.
So keep that coming.
If only there was someone on the show we could ask these questions to.
Maybe next week we'll have someone.
Hey.
David Mounier will be here next week. All right, let's get on to predictions, shall we?
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
All right, who's up?
I have sort of a commentary that leads to a prediction. There was not a lot of Raylan in this episode.
Not screen time wise, absolutely, yeah. They were covering a lot of ground with a lot
were, and the body count has been very low lately. So
they had
but we're ramping up to all Raylan, all bullets, all the time.
I would guess starting next week.
I know that's not a difficult prediction to make, but because of course it's going to be that way. But I think more I'm looking forward to it. Raylan getting to be the badass that he is.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna answer my own question about Drew Thompson and is he a bad guy? I'm really liking him. I think of him as a sort of D.B. Cooper. I'm on board. I'm on the Drew Thompson fan club. I'm on this. I'm buying into his lore.
Team Drew Thompson.
And I think that that and this whole LMA thing's breaking my heart. I think we're going to see them survive.
I was going to say the same thing.
I think they're going to survive. I think they're going to be off into the sunset.
I think Ellen May will survive. I think she'll take off. She'll disappear. So that thing will always be out there, and at any moment could come back. Hanging over Ava.
True.
It's going to drive her crazy. She'll do the Lady Macbeth thing. Oh my God, when's that going to happen?
Right.
See, I'm going to go the other way. I think Ava's going to have to kill LMA, and I think when she does it, I think it's going to break.
Oh, that'll be even better.
That'd be good.
Break her or break up Ava and Boyd?
I think it's going to, something in her is going to break, and then that's going to be...
That'll cause the rift between them, maybe.
Well, there is something in that TV Guide article from 2 weeks ago. There is something that I forgot to mention, that Walton Goggins said that Boyd and we talk about this relationship between Boyd and Raylan. He said something's going to happen between them that's going to be that's you can't go back from. They've been awful chummy, and they've been awful buddy, and this is how Boyd thinks of Raylan as his brother. But so something's going to happen that's going to change their relationship forever. So that was a little foreshadowing from Walton Goggins. We'll see what that thing is. Maybe it's something to do with Ava. Who knows what it is? But
my prediction is I just want Ellen May to get out. I want somebody to get out of there.
Yeah, you want someone to leave Harlan alive.
But I have to say that Steven's prediction is better.
That's a really good prediction.
Steve's got a good one there. So I like.
Well, here's what we have. We've got Ava killing LMA. We got Tim killing Colt.
Yeah.
Boyd's gonna kill someone, and it's not gonna be Raylan. So
I don't know, but and because of the way they left it with Wynn, I think he obviously the weasel and cockroach that he is, he'll get away, of course, because he'll be able to come back.
Yeah.
Right.
So and he's leaving town.
Wynn has the dumbest right-hand man.
I know exactly.
I want to stay. I'm gonna miss you.
On that note, we're gonna leave you now. So before we leave, Steven Lemieux, tell them where they can find you.
You can Bottomley Steven me on the Twitterian world.
All right, or Steve Bottomley. All right, Joe Braswell, where can they find you?
At Joe K. Braswell on Twitter, and also Grantland.com every Thursday, my ILM film series that comes out. Okay. And the following Mondays and Americans on Wednesdays.
Great. All right. Mr. Lemieux in the booth. Are you listening?
No. Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah. You can find me at Stephen Lemieux and on Facebook at Facebook.com/SRLemieuxPhoto.
Okay, Tamara. Cool.
At Tamara Berg on Twitter, and I'm on Home and Family tomorrow.
Ooh, there you go.
Doing
your awesome hair.
Do it with my awesome hair, tying some knots.
What, were you a cult?
Getting naughty on Home and Family.
And you can still see me on the big screen in Adventures of Serial Buddies.
Yay!
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. A lot of people in it. We got Christopher Lloyd in it, Chris McDonald, Kathy Lee Gifford does a great cameo in it, Artie Lang's in it, a bunch of people. Anyway, go see the movie. It's a lot of fun.
Henry Winkler.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, on behalf of everybody here, we want to thank you very much for commenting and tuning in, and we will talk to you next time.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.